Hello sir, my name is Durkambigai Dr. of Subramaniam. My ID number is 0620039. Now I am talking about child abuse. Child abuse. What is child abuse? Child abuse is when someone, whether through action or failure to act, causes injury, death, emotional harm, or risk of serious harm to a child. Child abuse or child maltreatment is a play, physical and sexual and psychological maltreatment of neglect of children, especially by a parent or caregiver. Child abuse may include any act of failure to act by a parent or caregiver that result in actual or potential harm to a child and can occur in a child's home or in the organization, school, communications the child interacts with.
My name is Divya, Doctor of Murugan. My ID number is CLE0620040. Definition of child abuse. Definitions of what constitutes child abuse vary among professionals, between social and cultural groups, and across time. The terms abuse and maltreatment are often used interchangeably in the literature. Child maltreatment can also be an umbrella term covering all forms of child abuse and child neglect. Defining child maltreatment depends on prevailing cultural values as they relate to children, child development, and parenting. Definition of child maltreatment can vary across the strata of society which deal with the issue, such as child protection agency, legal and medical communities, public health officials, researchers, practitioners, and child advocates. Since members of these various fields tend to use their own definitions, communication across disciplines can be limited.
My name is Sivakannan, student ID 05250. So now I talking about type of abuse. So the first one is physical abuse. Physical child abuse occurs when a child is purposely physically injured or put at a risk of harm by other person. Second one is sexual abuse. Sexual child abuse is any sexual activity with a child, such as floating, oral genital contact, expose to the child to pornography. Third one is emotional abuse. Emotional child abuse means injuring a child's self-esteem or emotional well-being, such as continually bullying a child, as well insulting or ignoring, rejecting a child. The fourth one is medical abuse. Medical child abuse occurs when someone gives false information about a child that requires medical attention, put the child at the risk injury at the unnecessary medical care. On the other hand, there is some child who raised in the child abuse who manage to do unexpectedly well the later in life, regretting preconditions. Such child have been termed retaliation children, as inspired from the way and dangerously seems to proper intrusive of soil, sun, rain, such as eye of interest in finding factors that minor the effect of child abuse.
Hello, my name is Prisha, daughter of Yuvaraja. My ID number is CLE032001. Today I'm going to presentation about example of children abuse. Child marriage robs girls of their childhood and threatens their lives and health. Girls who married before 18 are more likely to experience damage, violence, and less likely to remain in school. They have worse economic and healthy outcomes and than their unmarried peers, which are evidence passed down their own children. Standing countries competition to provide quality, healthy, and education service. When the risk of complication during pregnancy and children with instead of themselves and their informs. The parents can also isolate girls from family and friends and excuse them from participation in their communication, taking a heavy toll on their physical and physiology well-being.
Breaking the cycle child abuse. Learn what is age appropriate and what is not. Having realistic expectation of what children can handle at certain ages will help you avoid frustration and anger at normal child behavior. For example, newborns are not going to sleep through the night without a peep, and toddlers are not going to be able to sit quietly for extended periods of time. Develop new parenting skills. Start by learning appropriate discipline techniques and how to set clear boundaries for your children. If you are not getting enough rest and support, or you are feeling overwhelmed, you are much more likely to succumb to anger. Get professional help. Breaking the cycle of abuse can be very difficult if the patterns are strongly enriched. If you can't seem to stop yourself, no matter how hard do you try, it's time to get help, whether in the form of therapy, parenting class, or other interventions. Your children will thank you for it. Learn to control your emotions. If you were abused or neglected as a child, you may have an especially difficult time getting in touch with your range of emotions. You may have had to deny or repress them as a child. Thank you, sir.